Hello and welcome to the show. We are back at the Bajarama circuit driving 3 more vehicles till destruction. And we start with the Delta 88, a big classic American car, and that is generally a recipe to do pretty damn well around this circuit. The Caldera led for a very, very long time, as did the Grand Marshal, so there is certainly some expectations on this vehicle. Now, the previous Delta 88 that ran around here was a crash test version that was awful. It was so incredibly slow. It overheated on its second lap. It was, so underpowered. This sport version isn't going to have that problem. There is plenty of power available. In fact, a little bit too much for that corner as we managed to lose the back end. Now, that has its advantages, of course. We can clear jumps an awful lot better with this. The likes of Radiator Springs shouldn't hold too much of a threat. However, with all that excess power, does make the car a little bit more difficult to drive, more prone to oversteer, and if you're trying to put down that smidge too much power, you get oversteer at the wrong moment, you can end up taking jumps quite awkwardly. Twisted landings like so that we're about to have are not particularly great for the vehicle. Well, that's a case in point. I think we've collapsed the rear right suspension immediately. That's not a great start, although I can deal with collapsed rear suspension. That might be all of the rear suspension gone. While it's not great, it's also not the worst thing that could have happened. The Regency, that is a bigger version of this car, that made it onto its third lap. I think it died at Radiator Springs on its third lap. So there certainly is some pedigree, some expectations, and apparently a radiator made of paper. You survived the big hits, but that was a tiny knock. That was a really small knock across that jump, and well, there it goes. Okay, car, that's not the greatest of news. We'll keep going. We're not got crazy turbochargers on this, so we might not overheat too horrendously fast. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that front. And it does depend. Like a small knock like that might only be a small puncture to the radiator, whereas, you know, some of the bigger hits you might have like sort of complete and utter catastrophic radiator failure. So we might be okay for overheating for a little while, but there we go. Oh, we're going to come crunching back down again across that jump. Although a crash like that is okay. We bounced around on the suspension, but we didn't actually break anything, which is useful. It is very useful when you're not breaking stuff. Oh, we're not likely to enjoy this sort of, well, I was going to say chassis killer, but it kind of kills everything on the car down the motocross section. It is, I guess, kind of hitting relatively central. We're not putting too much stress on any part of the car, any sort of specific point on the car, I should say. We're putting stress on the whole damn thing across there, but we're only just quick enough. We're going to bounce around. I got away with that, actually. We got away with that quite nicely. We can't quite get across all 3 of the crests. Ooh, a little bit too fast, perhaps. Okay, that's not great news for the suspension. We're taking a lot of hits on that, and I'm not sure the rear suspension is really doing what it was initially doing on the first couple of jumps. I'm pretty sure that's mostly gone there. Oh. Ouch, ouch, ouch indeed. We have tumbled over, and that is going to be... Ooh, I've just noticed there's a lot of fans going on at the front. That might actually... I don't know how... Oh, grabbed it by the door rather than the roof. Whoopsie. I don't know how the cooling is necessarily done in Beam, but if we have a lot of fans, that might help with slowing the overheating, I guess, is the potential. In this one, it does look like, judging by the fact that it's not... Well, the heat gauge has barely moved, we should make it further than the crash test version of this car. That rear left is really knackered. Now, the rear left, there is not much suspension left. The problem that we're going to have with that, while it's not affecting the car's ability to drive per se, and, you know, while it wouldn't handle very well, it's not handling great to begin with, too much power on a dirt course, it's how it deals with, certainly the motocross section, how it deals with landings of jumps. That's where we're going to have issues, because if we hit landings and it's just bounced the car around randomly, we're going to end up in, you know, trouble. We might well roll the car. That can then cause other damage to the front, or, you know, snap wheels off. That kind of thing is where the issue comes with broken rear suspension. Yeah, I can still put the power down, well, no worse than we could to begin with. It's what it does on the landing of jumps that we have concerns for. It's going okay, though, at the moment. It's going okay. Aside from that radiator, we are still actually driving relatively. We're pulling a little bit, but we're driving relatively straight, which is... It's always nice to have got to a second lap and not have the car pulling horrendously to either the left or the right. I think it was up here that the crash test Delta broke down, trying to get up towards Radiator Springs, so we have got further than that vehicle. Come on, make it across Radiator Springs, please. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's really not good, because that's the front left wheel snapped. Bugger. We might be drivable, but it's going to be difficult now, because we are... Oh, we're going to stall, aren't we? Yep. Okay, go on, car. We can recover from this. Now, we aren't all-wheel drive, which is slightly preferable when we lose a front wheel, because that wheel hasn't come off cleanly. It's no longer connected to the steering, but it is still connected to the car, which means it is going to flail around randomly. But with the front wheels not being driven, it doesn't going to kind of drag us about, so we are still relatively drivable, which is nice. That was what I was talking about with the car bouncing around on the landings of the jumps and twisting on takeoffs and that kind of thing. That is where we get into trouble. Are we going to be recoverable here, though, in terms of steering? I'm not sure we are. No, we're not. The Delta's gone, and we are out. We are out of contention. I'm going to try and get the car back on the course a little bit from falling off of the map. Yeah. Oh. Ah, we took out. No, didn't mean to take out the tail light. Come on. There's only really bumper to grab hold of, so we're just going to kind of pull and go. Rather grab chassis or something rather than bumper. Bumper's on there pretty solidly, I will give it that. Yeah, steering failure. That corner is actually notorious for steering failures, or for cars with broken steering to go off. I think the Mercedes went off there. A couple of other cars have got off there as well with steering. It just wasn't turning. Couldn't get it to turn to the right. And while, yeah, the loose wheel isn't dragging the car about because it isn't being driven, if it's twisted, so if that front left wheel is pointing to the right and I'm trying to turn to the left, and if it doesn't budge, then there's nothing you can do. The car's just going to go straight on and off the course. I thought we might get away with getting the banking to help us around there. I was trying everything, but the car didn't want to know, and once you fall it over the edge of the banking, it's so steeply, or such a steep hill there, you can't recover that, not with a broken steering. So the Delta, well, it goes a bit further. Does go a little bit further than the crash test version. Broken steering this time out, although the rear suspension damage certainly contributing to the car's issues. Up next, we have got the FR17. Yes, a second Formula 1 car is going to try the course. And being a McLaren Honda, it's probably going to break down before we get to the first corner. Maybe we won't even get off the line. Are we going to drive? Oh, we do work. That's better than normal for the Honda engine. Yeah, it's likely to have problems, shall we say. Of course, this kind of car, about as far-flung from the design demands of a Baja circuit as you can get. Plus point, lots of speed. Lots of speed does mean that it can potentially take things like Radiator Springs and some of the jumps and get nice, smooth landings. But it's very, very risky. In fact, we are struggling a lot with power. We're going to go round. That's probably the safest option. Oh, we're going to stall it as well, for good measure. Come on, McLaren. Point in the right direction. There we go. If we just spin before every major jump, that will probably do the car a world of good in terms of survivability. Or... Not sure what's going on. One of the difficulties with some of the Formula 1 car mods and so on is Beam and the way that it deals with aero is a little bit quirky. And oh, we've killed a tyre. Amazingly, we didn't kill the wheels in that roll. Yeah, the way that it deals with aerodynamics, if the car takes off or the car leaves the ground slightly, things are going to be all sorts of wonky, and I think that's what was going on there. The aero didn't quite know what to do. Surprisingly, with that wheel as bent as it is and the tyre gone, we're not completely uncontrollable. I mean, it was fairly uncontrollable to begin with. However, it's not completely and utterly useless yet. We're actually hitting these landings, and the wheels are holding on a lot better than the FR16 managed. Now, the FR16 did make it towards the motocross section on its first lap before we lost, I think we lost 2 wheels in the end. I even lost 3 wheels in the end with that one. There we go, we're going to roll over. This is struggling more in terms of, I'm trying to get you back over, car. Doesn't really like to be topped back over again. Yeah, that's the aerodynamics for you having issues. So we've completely disintegrated the rear wing, which might actually start causing other problems for us. We're still going, though. We are still good to go. Come on, make it across Radiator Springs, please. Oh, okay, we got away with it. Got away with it. There is damage around, but it is still working. The rear wheel, the front of the car actually has gone off relatively well. The front of the car has survived, kind of in one piece. I don't know how and where we would have to hit the radiator on this car to damage it. In real life, they'd be in the side pods. I don't know if that is where they are positioned in this Beam version, whether we can damage and break them. Imagine it would overheat pretty damn fast. I can't put any powder. It's so rough down here, and the car's suspension is having all sorts of issues, as you would imagine. Oh, okay, speaking of damage, there we go. Had to say something. We've kind of eaten some of the shark fin off the back of our car. We're still going, amazingly. I think helped by the fact that I just can't use any speed at all. We are just bouncing and shaking across the course here. Oh, are we going to lose the front wing? No, the front wing is certainly on very, very sturdy on this vehicle as we come across motocross jumps. This is where we are probably going to come into trouble at some point. Oh, we're still okay. Getting the car beached is an ever-present danger that might actually be one of the bigger problems for this car as the wheels and suspension take more and more damage. There we go. We are recovered. I had to just boot it. Oh, there's a great big hole in the side pod. That's quite cool. It's quite cool that we can do that. Up towards the jumps we go. I can't put any power down, so we're not going to be able to clear these nicely. Having said that, I think actually what we might be doing is we might be bouncing it around kind of on the barge boards underneath it at various places, and that isn't helping. We are going to go further than the FR16 ever made it, and we have still got all of our wheels in kind of one piece. The rear left is not exactly great. This is the furthest a McLaren Honda has ever gone, and it's on a Baja circuit. I don't know what's going on here. Come on, car. Up towards the next jump we go. Oh, no, that's not happy. That's not happy. That's... oh, not great. This is surviving. I think we actually twisted the entire chassis. This is surviving a lot better than it has any right to. I'm going to be honest here. It is... surviving a lot more punishment than it should. It's going to make it onto its second lap, though. Well, unless we break down here. That would be embarrassing. No, it's going to do it. We're on to the second lap. We're getting a little bit on the warm side. I think, to be fair, if this car goes out from overheating rather than wheel loss and so on, that's quite incredible. I'm going to be honest here. If it goes out for that, that would be a remarkable result. It's... You can see how much it is shaking as we go across this terrain. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're just scraping the underside of the car constantly across the bumps, and that is making our control issues 10 times worse. Just don't have, well, we don't have the ride height. It's hardly surprising, is it? And combine that with the damage we've got to the rear wheels, not making life easy at all for the Formula 1 car. Through the air we go. Twisted, but nothing. I think we are being helped by the fact that we're going so slowly that bits are just about staying on in one piece. Is that hole in the side pod getting bigger as we go? It might be. It might be. Come on then, up the next. Oh, I'm really struggling now to control the car. I'm really struggling to get any sort of... The steering's so broken, the rear wheels are flailing around. Can a car shake itself to death? I know in real life it can. I don't think it can on Beam, but if it could, it would be this one here. Like, this would not be a pleasant driving experience in here. Go on, try and clear that. No, we're not going to be able to clear that, are we? Nicely. Oh, we're just going to slide our way down the road sideways. That's probably not helped the rear axle any, although it's not really looking any worse for wear. Particularly, it looks awful. It's shonky and all broken. However, it could be getting, or it might be about to get worse. Oh no! Now we're just taking up a bit of the. Oh no! Come on, car! Come on, car! Don't get beached here. Come on, McLaren, you can do it. We might have to roll it backwards a little bit. I didn't go into reverse, so it is still perfectly fine to recover. There we go. We have made it over the crest. Almost got beat. Here we go. Get some speed up to clear Radiator Springs. Oh, we cleared Radiator Springs, but bigger problems have occurred in clearing it. We have shot across the court. I think we've actually ended up there, having crashed off at Radiator Springs. We've got 2 flat rear tyres, so now even less traction. I think we're going to spend a lot of time going around in circles. How is this thing still going? The temperature is gradually rising, but it's not in the red area as of yet, which is quite impressive. I mean, I can't really do much more than 30 miles an hour. Oh, that might take out a rear wheel. We've lost all of the rear wing completely. Oh, dear. We cannot afford to lose momentum here. We cannot afford to lose momentum, because if we do, I think we're going to beach it, because our rear suspension is now so broken. Come on, McLaren. We can do it. Oh, okay, we're across the first one. Things are fine. Things are fine. Steering's got issues. I'm not sure if some sort of debris has got underneath it, or whether it's just... I think it's because now we are literally just running along on the chassis that we're having problems with steering. Oh, God, I tried to put some power down. It's not worked. Don't lose momentum. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. There we go. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, please make it onto the 3rd lap. Please make it onto the 3rd lap, because that would be brilliant. Although we don't really want to go over here, because this terrain is even worse to try to navigate and not get beached on. We are free. We're back on the circuit. Still it soldiers on. Still it marches forwards. This... Formula 1 car is, gonna bounce. I mean, it's made it further than the Delta 88. Our Formula 1 car has made it further than the Delta 88. And made it further than a lot of cars. Made it further than the 8x8 utility truck that ate itself. I'm not so sure that this should still be alive, quite frankly. However... that front wing is just absurdly strong. That front wing, we can kind of see the holes in both of the side pods now. I do wonder whether, the bottom of the car is taking a lot of the punishment, and that's just not getting buckled in the same way. Oh dear. It's engine failure in the end. Only the 3rd car to go out from complete and utter engine failure. All at the same jump, amusingly. Admittedly, this made it a lap further than the 2 Pazimas, the 2 of the modern Pazimas that died on that section. Couldn't quite make it onto a 3rd lap. It survived horrendous punishment. But amusingly, it would be engine failure for the McLaren Formula 1 car that would see its run end. But a hell of an impressive performance from a Formula 1 car. And our final vehicle has got even crazier aero than the Formula 1 car. This, the D8 Customs Outlaw, is a absolutely crazy contraption. I've gone for the hill climb spec because of the wing. Look at it, it's absurd. It is the most massive wing you can imagine, and we've got a fairly impressive setup at the front there. I am having a sneaky suspicion the front is not going to last very long, although I didn't think the front wing would last on the Formula 1 car. But that was apparently made of the strongest material known to man. Maybe this one will be as well. We shall see. There is plenty of power in this. It is, I believe, all-wheel drive as well, so should be plenty of traction. We have got a lot of speed being taken already around these corners. This is going to be one of those vehicles I actually have to be very careful with, that if I try and drive it flat out, if I drive it as fast as I would other cars, we will actually just clear the map. That's the sort of speed that we are talking about here. It's a lot, an awful lot of speed. Interestingly, the front snowplow has stayed on across the opening jump. That was me being cautious as well with the vehicle, and we still nearly sailed out of the map. There goes the snowplow. The problem is trying to find that balance of enough speed to actually clear the jumps nicely, and the snowplow didn't last much longer. Don't know how that's going to affect us sort of flying through the air-wise. We might end up now flying quite arse down with all of that downforce at the back pushing the vehicle. We will have to wait and see. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time in the air, hopefully, or across these next section up towards Radiator Springs we go. Easily fly across there. Nicely does it. Get on the brakes. So far, all is going well. Now, there are there's a Desert Racer, a rally spec version of this as well that would probably be more suitable suspension-wise. However, yeah, giving the hill climb circuit racer thing a try. The suspension itself is doing a remarkable job. The suspension itself is doing a great job for now. It's what happens when, and it is inevitable, we're going to get a mispositioned car. With as much power and speed as this has, it's going to get twisted at some point on a jump. It's going to get twisted on takeoff or on landing, and it's what it does then. That's when we are going to see just how strong the Outlaw is. Now, we should have the speed to get all 3 ramps cleared. Indeed we do. And the next one, good, and the next one, indeed we will. Oh, a little bit too much speed. We're a little bit too much speed, although it's more that we were too far to the right. We will come back on the track, that's no problem. Okay, so, opening lap. Things are looking pretty okay. Things are looking okay for the Outlaw. Now, I don't know how much punishment this suspension can take. It is pretty beefy. As I said, even though we haven't got the off-road spec, off-road configuration per se with this, that suspension is looking pretty beefy. It's not having horrible crunches when it hits the ground. Oh, don't go playing with that hay bale. That will tear a wheel off if we are not careful. I just had to open the taps up briefly on it. There is ferocious speed, ferocious power in this vehicle. Get it around the corner now. Don't accelerate it too much here, because we will just launch it straight off the map. But we've got to make sure that we get it cleanly across, which we have done. Now we need a little bit more speed up here. There we go. That's going to clear it nicely. Take out the front wing. We actually have a fair amount of, I say, in-air control. Now, if I boot it with this, I can get the front of the car to get the nose to rise. If I go on the brakes, we can get the nose to fall. And that is actually helping us a lot across these jumps. We have a lot more in-air control than just about anything. Perhaps the monster truck is the only one that can do more. But, oh, that's not going to go well towards Radiator Springs. Okay, that's the first big hit. That was the first big hit. The front seems okay. The rear, not so much. We're taking a fair old whack. It's the rear right that we've got concerns about. We haven't lost a wheel. We haven't lost a driveline or anything. It's now what's going to happen. It's kind of the unpredictability that this is potentially going to bring in a very finely tuned machine. When you've got a completely wrecked 200BX, it doesn't really matter if we've lost a little bit of the predictability, because it's already pretty knackered. But when this is such a fine-tuned piece of equipment, that's little loss. Oh, we're going to lose the wing. No, it's still hanging on there. The mighty wing does not want to be... Oh, it's gone. It's just... It's flowing off to space. Now we've really lost control of it. Oh, there it goes. That's the wheels done. Half shaft broken, drive shaft broken, 2 wheels gone. Do we have anything? Oh, we might still have enough to move it. No, we're not. The diffs aren't going to allow it to keep going. Oh, come on. Come on. Do something. It's not going to do it. That was always the danger. That was always the danger. Once you'd lost that bit of control, as soon as you fall out of a rhythm with this car, there is so much speed and the wheels are so exposed, they are always liable to do that. Always liable to ping off. I don't know where the wing went. It's somewhere. I think it tried to go to space. So let's have a look. I think actually, tell a lie. I think I can actually see it in the distance. Is that it there? Oh no, that's... Oh, there it is. Hey, the mighty wing is... came off in spectacular fashion before poofing off to the sky. Yeah, our vehicle is a great car, fantastic car, ferocious speed in this that you simply can't use around this course because it will jump clean off of the map in many places. Try as you might, though, there is going to come a time where it's going to make a little mistake, and once that happens, it's always going to be a downward spiral, and it's going to... In a car with this much performance, that downward spiral is very quick. In normal road cars, it's a little slower. You know, you gradually lose performance. It gradually goes on and on and on. But in this, once it's gone, that's always spells trouble for the Outlaw. So, on to our results table, and amazingly, it is the FR17 that would go furthest, managing to beat the Burnside Hot Rod, beats the standard van. It is incredibly strong front wing and wheels. In fact, absurdly strong wheels on that car. Admittedly, it wasn't going particularly fast. By the end, the punctured tyres put pay to that. The Custom Outlaw is only a few places behind in 39th place. Beats the Off-Road Moonhawk, beats the D-Series, the Estate race car. Yeah, it's a great vehicle. It's a truly crazy contraption. However, as soon as you take a little bit of damage, if everything can't be driven 100% perfect, all it takes is a little nudge. I mean, the crash that killed it took out 2 wheels, and I think at least one of the drive shaft. It completely wrecked the car in a single crash. Not good around this kind of a circuit. The Delta 88 will go into 49th place, with a little bit unfortunate with its steering conking out the way that it did in the position that it did. It does go further than the Rock Bounce of the I-Series, the Pazima Zen Edition. However, it doesn't beat the standard classic Pazima. It also fails to beat the Mercedes E420. Both cars had a steering failure at a very similar point. The Mercedes, though, able to make it a little bit further around the corner before that gave up. That, though, is going to be it for this video. In fact, it is going to be it for the Bajarama circuit. It has been a rather fascinating series to see how these vehicles would fare at this circuit. We are going to have to crown, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Pigeon is going to be the victor of a Driven Till Destruction. However, never fear, for we have got a new circuit in the works that is going to test the vehicles to even more extremes.